Does that look like a lion? Let me see you try the motion. Ready? And go.
A zillion stories in every deck.
Adventure Cards!
Hey kids, welcome back to Adventure Cards Kids TV. Are you ready for the ABCs Part 2? Today, it's the letters I through Q. Let's get started. Oh, right, Sparky. I forgot my adventure vest. I put on my adventure vest when I'm ready to create an adventure. It has lots of pockets where I keep my adventure cards. Sparky and I prepared a special deck of adventure cards just for this episode. Then we hid the cards in one of the pockets of my adventure vest. Can you guess which pocket? Do you think it's this pocket right here? Let's see. Nope, those are animals. What about this pocket? Those are objects. Oh, Sparky says he thinks they're in this pocket right here. Do you think he's right? Let's see. Nope, those are places. Oh, are they in this pocket? No, that pocket's empty. Well, do you think I put the cards in a secret pocket of my vest? Let's see. Right here is a secret pocket, and those are the cards that we specially picked just for this episode. Now, do you know what's special about these cards? They're all arranged in alphabetical order. There's animals, objects, and places. Do you know what alphabetical order means? Sparky says he knows. All right, let's hear. No, Sparky, that's numerical order. 1, 2, 3, 4 is numerical order. Alphabetical order is by the alphabet. A, B, C, D. Every single one of these cards starts with a letter of the alphabet, starting with A, then B, and then C. And we're gonna play a game. Here's how the game works. I'm gonna act out each card using sound, motion, or detail. You try and guess the card. Remember, each animal, object, and place starts with the next letter of the alphabet. If you guess correctly, you score points. Our first card is the letter I, and the card is a place. Oh, this is a good one. I'm going to use 3 details to describe my place. You see if you can guess my card. Oh, Sparky wants me to change the location to give you a hint. Much better, right? Oh, fantastic. Here we go. Ready? 3 details. House of ice. Do you know the place? Sparky, no, it's not a refrigerator. I know refrigerators have ice in them, but you don't live in a refrigerator. Here, let me say the details again. House of ice. Did you guess an igloo? If you guessed an igloo, that's correct, and you score a point. How does a penguin build its house? It glues it together. What do you call a cow that lives in an igloo? An Eskimo. Polar bears love igloo snacks. Crunchy on the outside, soft and chewy on the inside. Why don't igloos have corners? Corners are 90 degrees and they'd melt. The word igloo comes from the Eskimo word for home. The snow and ice of an igloo works as an insulator. The gradual thawing and freezing of an igloo turn the structure to ice, making it stronger and warmer on the inside. An igloo can be built in 1 hour, and the only tools you need are a saw and a snow shovel. Moving on to the letter J, and it's another place. Let's see. I used details to describe the igloo. Maybe now I'll use sound. Ready? Here's some things that live in this place. Roar! Do you know the sounds? Do you know where those animals live? Let me do the sounds again. Roar! Do those animals live in the jungle? If you guessed a jungle, that's correct, and you score a point. What's another way that I could act out a jungle? Oh, what if I use details to describe a jungle? Let's see, what 3 words could I use? What about where monkeys live? Or African green forest? Would those describe a jungle? Yeah, I think so. Jungles are overgrown with wild tangles of vegetation and dense forest. Jungles are home to a wide range of plants and animals. The word jungle is Sanskrit and means uncultivated land. Lions are known as the king of the jungle, but they don't actually live in the jungle. They live in the grassland. We'll be back with the letter K after this ad.
Adventure Cards!
Are you tired walking upstairs? Try an elevator. It can take you up to the 100th floor.
We're back and ready for the letter K. This card is an object. Oh, I'm going to use motion to act out this object. Ready? Can you guess the object? Oh, Sparky says it looks like I'm turning on a lamp, but that's not right. Here, let me do the motion again. See if you can guess. Can you guess the object? Now, let me add to the motion and see if that helps. Ready? Did you guess a key? If you guessed a key, that's correct, and you score a point. How do you escape from a locked room without the keys? I don't know either. Help me out of here. Hey, Sparky, knock knock. My key. My key won't fit in this door. What kind of key do you use in a kitchen? A cook key. Get it? What's another way that we could act out a key? Oh, what about details? What sort of details could we use to describe a key? Well, let's see. A key opens up doors. Oh, those are 3 details we could use to describe a key. Thousands of years ago, keys were made of wood. Rich Romans kept their valuables in secure boxes and wore a key as a ring on their finger. Metal keys can be duplicated using a blank and a wheel that cuts the teeth. New cars have an electronic key that sends a signal to the car's computer to open the door. Are you ready for the letter L? Let's pick a card. This card is an animal. I'm going to use details to describe this animal. Here we go. King of jungle. Do you know the animal? No, Sparky, it's not an elephant. An elephant isn't the king of the jungle. The king of the jungle is another animal. Do you know the animal? Did you guess a lion? If you guessed a lion, that's right, and you score a point. What's another way that we could act out a lion? Oh, what about motion? What sort of motion would a lion make? Well, first of all, lions have big paws, and they also have big teeth. So maybe we could do something like this. Does that look like a lion? Let me see you try the motion. Ready? And go. Oh, that looks like a lion. King of the jungle right there in front of me. What's another way we could act out a lion? Oh, what sort of sound does a lion make? Does a lion squeak or squawk or squeal? No, a lion roars like this. Roar. Let me hear you try a roar. Ready? And go. Oh, that's a big lion roar. That sounds great. What do you call a lion who runs the Xerox machine? A copycat. What do you get when you cross a lion and a snowman? Frostbite. Where does a lion sleep? Anywhere he wants to. How does a lion greet other animals out in the field? Pleased to eat you. A group of lions is called a pride. Lions sleep 20 hours a day. Lions hunt at night with 2 or 3 lion friends. They use teamwork to stalk their prey. Although the lion's nickname is King of the Jungle, they actually live in grasslands. Moving on to the letter M. This card is an object. Oh, I'm going to use motion to act out this object. Ready? Do you know the object? Oh, Sparky says he thinks it's a ruler, but ruler doesn't start with the letter M. It's not a ruler, Sparky. It's something that starts with the letter M. Can you guess? I'm using this to look at something. Do you know the object? Did you guess a magnifying glass? If you guessed a magnifying glass, that's right, and you score a point. What's another way that we could act out a magnifying glass? What about details? What sort of details would we use to describe a magnifying glass? Well, let's see. A magnifying glass makes things closer. Oh, so we could use those 3 words as details. Makes things closer. That's great. That's a good way to describe a magnifying glass. What do you call an 8-legged insect holding a magnifying glass? A spy, duh. Oh, that's a terrible joke. Here's a better one. What do you call an alligator holding a magnifying glass? An investigator. Most magnifying glasses use a double convex lens. Magnifying glasses are often used in detective stories. You can concentrate light through a magnifying glass to light a campfire. Here we go with the letter N. This card is also an object. I'm going to use motion to act out this object. Here we go. Do you know the object? Oh, Sparky says he thinks I'm putting on a necktie, but that doesn't sound right. If I was putting on a necktie, the motion would go more like this. But that's not how the motion went. Let me make the original motion, and you see if you can guess the object. Did you guess a necklace? If you guessed a necklace, that's right, and you score a point. What's another way that we could act out a necklace? Well, we could use details to describe a necklace. Well, what sort of details would we use? Well, let's see. A necklace lots of times has some sort of a stone or a locket, like a diamond or a ruby. We could say diamond around neck. Oh, Sparky reminded me, we can't use the word neck because the name of the object, necklace, uses the word neck already. So we'd have to say something like, oh, what about chain with diamond? Oh, that would be great. What did the rabbit give his girlfriend? A 14-carat necklace. Necklaces with a small container for a photograph are called lockets. A necklace with a hanging feature is called a pendant. Metals such as iron, bronze, gold, and silver have all been used for necklaces. It's believed that necklaces were the first item of jewelry ever to be made. We'll be back with the letter O after this message.
Adventure cards.
If you're afraid of a robber, then buy a tiger. It's better than a chihuahua. Roar!
We're back, and it's time for the letter O. This card is an animal. Oh, I'm going to use sound to act out this animal. Ready? Whoo! Sparky, no, I'm not asking you who the animal is. That's the sound that this animal makes. Can you guess what the animal is? Here, let me make the sound again. Ready? Whoo! Can you guess? Did you guess an owl? If you guessed an owl, that's correct, and you score a point. What's another way that we could act out an owl? What about details? Well, let's think about some details that we could use to describe an owl. Well, let's see. Owls fly at night. Oh, we could say fly at night. Or some owls live in barns. We could also say live in barns. Oh, and one of the coolest things that owls can do is they can turn their head all the way around. So what if we said turn head around? Do you think you'd be able to guess owl if I said that? What do you call an owl magician? Houdini. How do you know that owls are smarter than chickens? Have you ever heard of Kentucky Fried Owl? When does an owl say moo instead of who? When it's learning a new language. What did the mother owl say to the baby owl? You go and play. I'll watch from here. Get it? I'll watch. Oh. Did you hear the joke about the owl? It was a hoot. A group of owls is called a parliament, wisdom, or study. Owls have zygodactyl feet with 2 toes pointing forward and 2 toes pointing backward. Owls have specialized feathers that muffle sound when they fly. Owls communicate with screeches, whistles, barks, and hooing. Hoo, hoo. Oh, look at that owl. Wait, that's not an owl. That's a moth. Here we go with the letter P. This card is also an object. I'm going to use motion. You see if you can guess the object. Do you know the object? Oh, Sparky, it's not a magic marker. Magic marker starts with the letter M. This object starts with the letter P. Here, let me add to the motion. See if that helps. Do you know the object? Did you guess a paintbrush? If you guessed a paintbrush, that's right, and you score a point. What's another way that we could act out a paintbrush? What if we used details to describe a paintbrush? Well, what sort of details would we use? Well, let's see. A paintbrush uses paint to cover things with color. So what if we said cover with color? Those are three details that we could use to describe a paintbrush. Where does a cow hang his paintings? In a museum. Why was the painting arrested? Because it was framed. A paintbrush can have two types of bristles, natural or synthetic. Paintbrushes can be made out of wood, metal, or plastic. There are lots of sizes of paintbrushes: medium, large, small, extra small, tiny, teeny tiny, itty bitty. Moving on to the last letter in part 2 of our ABCs extravaganza. This is the letter Q, and it's an animal. I'm going to use sound to act out this animal. Ready? Can you guess the animal? No, Sparky, it's not a whistle. A whistle's an object, and whistle starts with the letter W. This is an animal, and it starts with the letter Q. Let me make the sound again. Here we go. Can you guess the animal? Let me give you a hint. It's a bird. Did you guess a quail? If you guessed a quail, that's right, and you score a point. Quail have a lifespan of 2 to 3 years. Adult quail love to eat seeds, leaves, and other plant materials. Quail chicks love to eat insects. Quail often take dust baths. The word quail is singular and plural. I could say, look at that quail, or look at those quail. Quail eggs are cream colored with black splotches. Oh, look at that little quail egg. Thanks for joining Sparky and me for part 2 of our ABCs extravaganza. Do you know what time it is now? No, Sparky, it's not time for part 3 yet. It's time for you to go on an alphabet search. As you go out into the world, keep an eye out for words that begin with the letters I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, and Q. Then report back to Sparky and me and let us know which words you've seen in the comments section below. That's it for this episode of Adventure Cards Kids TV. I'll see you soon. Oh, and so will Sparky.
A zillion stories in every deck.
Adventure